Well, hey there, everybody. So my name is Ron, and we're starting up a little YouTube channel about pure stock, street stock, hobby stock, whatever stock car, dirt track racing. There's only a few channels out there that actually talk about the hobby stocks, the 74 Malibus like the one that I'm driving, or Chevelle, or whatever you got. I don't know, like a Caprice or something that is very rules inhibited. You can't really do much to the suspension other than make sure it works and change your springs and see, do you like Bilstein or Monroe shocks better, that type of stuff. You're limited on tire choices. Some only have a single tire choice. A lot of people are running DOT tires, limited sizes. You're limited on the engine and what you can do. The class is designed to keep the cost down. Of course, we know that doesn't happen. Some people still spend way too much money, as far as I'm concerned, on their cars. But it's designed to keep the car equal. It's stock car racing that you're supposed to be able to get into, kind of like an entry level, if you will, and go. Now, it's not really entry level anymore. It can be. It's a great place to start. Of course, it's also a great place to finish. But it is exceedingly competitive. As I found out. This is my first season racing. I actually got my son into it last year at the end of the season. He was 18 at the time, just graduating high school, looking for something to do. And I said, why don't we go to the racetrack? He was hooked immediately. I hadn't been taking him. And so we ended up finding him a car, and he was able to run at the end of the year. It was a car that came from a asphalt track. I don't even know what the car is. It's some late 70s, early 80s, something, whatever. A complete, ready to go, turn the key and go. Wasn't entirely up to our rules, although they made rule changes this year and now it's legal. Okay. He got into that car for like $6,500, ready to go, which is a fantastic price. Over the winter, I decided that, I want to go racing too. So I ended up finding a car. I got a roller, and then I got, roller is a rolling car, but generally no engine or no engine transmission. Mine had a transmission that came with it, and then I went ahead and bought an engine from someone else that was a good engine, very good engine. They spent some money on it, at least that's what they say. So I paid money for it, more than I wanted to, probably more than I should have, but it was kind of a time crunch, at least at that point in time. And so anyway, so I got myself a car too. So in the meantime, while we're doing all this in the winter, and I realize I'm just babbling here, I'll show you. I had picked up a 2-car wedge trailer to go on like a fifth wheel or something. It was an old golf cart trailer because, we only want to take one vehicle, might as well get a 2-car trailer. And then it's like, well, what are we going to haul this thing with? And my son had the brilliant idea of a Chevy Suburban. You're like, Ron, you can't take a Chevy Suburban and haul a fifth wheel. Well, sure you can. You just have to cut the back off of it. So we found ourselves a beautiful Chevy Suburban, and we cut the back off of it. And I'll tell you what, it is awesome. And we fabricated, I'm not going to show it to you, but we fabricated up a good strong mount for the fifth wheel. Made some weight savings with the rust on that thing, and we have ourselves our 2-car hauler. That is my son's car. Used to be blue, now it's purple and green. Didn't mean to come into it like a Joker colors, but he did. It is, it gets beat up. That's, some fresh damage, this year. Some fresh damage this year. My car over here, I got off a gentleman named Mike who's been racing at our local track, Sycamore Speedway in Sycamore, Illinois, for, I don't know, about 70 years or so now. I don't know. He's been out there a long time. Mike's an excellent man, helps out a lot of people. Very competitive on the track, and I'll just leave it there. But off the track, we really like Mike an awful lot. Helps us out. So this was his car. Used to be pinkish. I got it as a roller. He obviously took out his stuff. He had a different rear end. He had some different stuff in there. So this is the car that I got. I believe it's a, he told me it was a 74 Malibu. So if that looks like a 74 Malibu, let's go from there. And I, wish I had more details of the build, but I'm going to kind of backtrack of what we're doing here. So I dropped in a 383, you know, small block Chevy, of course, and went to racing, you know, whatever. So, and it's a learning curve, and I'm going to talk about that learning curve and how to drive. So what are we doing to this thing today? Ron's, where's your bumper? So I scaled my car. I did some hillbilly scaling. I got 2 large person bathroom scales, you know, 400, 500, 600 pounds a piece, you know, scales, whatever they were. Put them next to each other, put a beam across it, and use that to scale each corner. I know it's not accurate. I didn't disconnect my shocks. I didn't do any of that crap, but I just wanted to kind of see where the weight was. And I went around the car twice, and it was consistent that I have roughly 200 pounds more weight on the front of the car than I did on the rear of the car. And realistically, I want that at least to be equal, you know, and more to the point, I kind of like a little more rear weight. I think that's what all the gurus say. You know, you want a little bit, you know, a little bit rear heavy, but I don't know. But I do know that it was heavy in the front. Our rules stipulate that we need 3,500 pounds minimum. Well, I was at 3,500 pounds. So when I scaled it, found I'd need more weight relative to the front. I went ahead and I dropped in about 80 pounds in the rear just of lead, and that helped the car quite a bit. Really helped the car. So it tells me that I'm going in the right direction. But it was like 80, 85 pounds, you know, whatever, a little bit. So now I'm at 3,600 pounds. I'm 100 pounds overweight. Well, it's better to have a heavy car that's better balanced than it is a light car that's not balanced, right? But I wanted to pull some weight off the front end. So that's what this project has been. Pull the bumper off, okay? And there's the bumper skin, all right? And we'll come over here because, you know, everything's in the driveway because that's where we're working. And this is the support structure, which is damned heavy. You know, that's the support structure that was in the bumper. And those 2 combinations there, the skin and that frame, were 95 pounds. All right. So what I did is I just made up a beam that goes in there. This is a single piece. We cut it, formed it down, welded it. And then laid in 2 more structures over here with a little support. Yeah, I know don't be, you know, telling me I can't weld. I know I can't weld very well, but you know, whatever. And that's what it is. Now this is not lightweight. This is 1/8 inch thick 2x2 steel, but the combination now weighs about 55 pounds, which is, you know, still pretty heavy compared to somebody who's got a tubular front bumper and such underneath a plastic nose. But that's 40 pounds. That is 40 pounds that I took off the nose, and 40 pounds that I took completely out of the car. So that's 40 pounds that the car no longer has to accelerate. And it's that imbalance in the car that the car doesn't have to pick up. So when I'm doing a weight transfer, the nose can lift easier on acceleration and driving through the turn and such, you know. And I'm hoping that the car will drive better than it did. I'm still learning how to turn the car. I'm going to talk about that, you know, as I go and I get into these things. So I'm going to help people learn how to drive the car, at least as well as I know how to drive the car. I'm doing okay out there. I'm not great. I actually, through no fault of my own, ended up on pole position in a race. Well, 2 of the fastest guys weren't there. And that was a big thing. And I only ended up on pole because in our heat, I finished second in the heat. We went to a redraw of the top 4 guys, you know, top 2 between each heats. And instead of putting me, you know, 34th, I ended up on the pole, which is great for a lap until I screwed up, peeled the tire off the car, and then I was done. You know, I had no business being up there. But anyway, I'm gonna kind of backtrack and, you know, show some things. So this is kind of an introduction to, you know, what we're doing. We got my car and his car and the awesome Chevy Suburban, the Chevy Wrangler as my kid calls it. He wanted to cut the windshield and everything off that thing. I said no, we're not driving home with our helmets on. You know, that's that type of thing. But anyway, I'm gonna get back at this and I'll try to get some footage at the track. And I know it'll be kind of convoluted, but at some point in time I'm gonna have some how-tos and some more direct, hey, this is what we did and this is how it helped us and this is how it hurt us. And when I really get it figured out to where I'm driving consistently and I'm at the very least keeping up with, the faster guys are reasonably keeping up, then I can go, hey, listen, this is how I'm driving the car, you know. And it might not be for everybody, but you know, if you're looking to get into this, or you're looking to get better, looking to get more consistent, that's my goal too. I just got into this. I definitely need to get better. I absolutely want to get consistent because I turned some great laps and then I turned some horrible laps. Well, I just need to get rid of the horrible stuff, but I'm not sure why they're horrible yet. So if I can get consistent, then I can help you guys get consistent, and you know, we could have some fun out there. So anyway, not sure what the name of the channel is going to be. It could be Nine Fingers Racing because I do nine fingers a lot. It could be Smart Ass Racing because that was also another late night thing that we came up with, Smart Ass Racing. And it's a donkey, by the way, which is an ass, so it's not a bad word. And we'll go from there. So, all right, questions, comments, throw them in, subscribe, you know, all that typical stuff if you made it this far. And let's hopefully have some fun. We'll talk to you.